Let's see, is it afternoon yet? No, it's still morning. Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
So, obviously you could tell based on the introduction that a number of you have seen me before. So I'd like to try something different. Everybody okay with that? So, I want to speak to the mothers and fathers in the room. At 10, you asked us to be nice. You asked us to behave, to be good citizens. 8 years later, we turned 18. And because you taught us so well, we decided to serve something greater than ourselves. So we joined the military. Now, the military changed the rules on us. You spent 18 years teaching us how to be a good citizen, to be nice, not to yell, to speak up, don't hit. And at 18, we go off to basic training, and the rules are hit, yell, do things that you just spent 18 years not being trained not to do. And that's okay. I know my voice is coming from everywhere. You don't even know where to go. Dad is everywhere. Let's go. And so, we went off to war. The government that we elected said, there is a threat to our nation's security and we need you to go and to do things that you trained 18 years not to do. We spent 3 years training you to be a warrior. And we said yes. And we went and we did the job. But because we spent 18 years learning to be the good boy and good girl, to be your son, to be your daughter, and then went to war. When we came back, we struggled. We weren't entirely sure which rules to follow. We wanted to be that same son and daughter that you had when we went off to basic training, but we couldn't. We changed. And you saw the change. You knew it was there. And you weren't sure what to do with it either. Some of us struggled harder than others, and through that we sought refuge in our friends, our family, the VA, our brothers and sisters in arms. Some of us took meds, and some of us found symptom relief therein. But I don't like meds. And there's a handful of my brothers and sisters that don't like meds either. And we found service dogs. And we found comfort. And we found love. Not that you didn't provide it, but it's a different type of love. It's a love that's replicated by our brothers and sisters that we went to war with. It's an unconditional positive regard that allows us to know that even though we struggle, that our battle buddy is there 100% of the time. And we can cry into their fur. We can wipe our nose with their fur. And they don't care. They just want the loves, they want the cuddles, they want to help us feel better. So, I get the question a lot, what makes a good service dog? Well, he likes to visit other people. We've done a little too much group therapy. Come on, buddy. He also loves doing these presentations because he gets paid. He doesn't usually get paid. He'll do anything. Sit. From everywhere. Wait. So we want basic obedience. We need to know that we put the dog in a specific position, that they're going to stay there until we ask them to do something. Let's go. Boy. Yeah. We need to know that when we need a little extra support, sit. 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 We need to know that they're going to be there when we need a little extra. Larson, come. Lap. Lap. I usually do this in a chair. Thank you. We need to know that when we need someone to touch us, someone to do something, that they can respond. Larson, touch. Siri thinks I need something too. Touch. Touch. Because that wasn't there in Iraq. Touch. Good boy. He wasn't there in Iraq. What do I know? I'm right here, in this room with all of you. Touch. Good boy. Sit. Now if it gets really bad, and I'm at home. Now I'm lucky. I am lucky in the sense that I do not have a problem in crowds. You can tell. Hello. I don't have a problem in crowds. However, Bonnie and I drove out here last night because we wanted to make sure we were here bright and early in the morning, got a good night's rest. I have a problem being alone. When I'm alone is when the demons creep in. So I'm in my hotel room alone, doing the thing that I hate doing, being alone. And Larson is right next to me. And it's time to go to bed. I like to go to bed at 8:30. I have a 2-year-old at home. And I can't fall asleep. And so I try and get a little bit of extra decompression time, I like to call it. And I take out my cell phone and I watch an episode of something fun. You don't get to go play with the Smurfs or Snowman. And I finish an episode of something cheeky and fun-loving, and I still can't fall asleep. And so I run my hand down the side of the bed, and there's Larson laying right next to me. And Larson licks my hand for about 5 minutes, and I don't remember what happened after that, because I fell asleep. But I got the licks that I needed. And in those times, I'm going to have to put the mic down for this, but in those times we have a very specific command when it's a little too much, and I'm going to demonstrate it now. We call that lay on. And if there is nothing better in the world, and if I can't remember where I am, between the dog's body pressure on my chest and the smell of his breath, boy, that'll tell you where you are real quick. I want to thank everybody for the support. I want to thank everybody for their generosity. And we have a little military tradition. If Suzanne can come down here, where did you go? Come here. So when you've done something special, when you've started something, we like to show a token of appreciation. And for those of you, because you're all far away, won't be able to see this, a military tradition of the coin. Thank you. Thank you all again for your support. And if anybody has any questions, I'll make sure I spend a little bit of time back there. And yes, you can pet the dog.
Thank you so much, Matt.